Good afternoon. Welcome again in some cases. My name is Ulrich Saldesaerts. I'm the managing director of a non-profit association called ELSEC. We are the coordinators of CYSSDE, which is a European collaboration of different entities that's mainly here to support Europe with the challenges in relation to building of capacity throughout Europe of penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, and overall cybersecurity expertise. Today's webinar will be basically addressing two major things. That is the open code 3 that we're going to issue from out of the CYSSDE project, which is a financial support instrument for companies that are looking for penetration testing and vulnerability assessments. And in relation to this, we have invited one of the Open Call 2 participants, so from the previous range of companies and projects that were selected, to talk a little bit about the experiences and results, and also best practices from this Open Call 2, which is, in this case, the project is still ongoing. Whereby we are looking especially, of course, to be able to give contestants of the new Open Call 3, some level of inspiration, some ideas and tips and tricks, and some guidance on whereabouts to go to. So thank you very much on joining here this afternoon. Vitor Pinho from out of Portugal and participants in the project MEDTEST, specifically from the company ETIAC. And thank you also for sharing a little bit later on what MEDTEST is really all about. And thanks also to my colleague Hector Laizibanes from also dialing in from Spain in this case, who will be talking a little bit more about CYSSDE. Hector, I'll hand over the floor to you.
Thank you, Ulrich. Also, again, thank you, Vitor, for coming here today. I will quickly share my screen. As Ulrich has mentioned, we are here today in order to welcome ETIAC from MEDTEST project. Vitor will share with you about the organization, about ETIAC, how they got to know the Open Call 2 opportunity, and what have been some of the developments, of some of the results that are ongoing in there. I will share full screen. I think that you are able to see that. Okay, let me check. Okay, so regarding the agenda, before handing it over to Vitor, we will dive into the objectives of the CYSSDE project for you to know what is it all about. Also, then we will welcome Vitor, and after that, we will take a look at the Open Call 3 opportunity that is open up until the 28th of April. So still you have 4 weeks to go. It's a very interesting opportunity. Vitor will share with you what they have been doing and what the opportunity has allowed them to carry out in terms of pen tests and vulnerability assessments. And then we will have a Q&A where we will be able to answer some of your questions. But keep in mind that on the 8th of April, we will have a dedicated webinar for the Info Day, for the second Info Day. It's the second Info Day for our Open Call 3. So we will welcome you there in case you have any further doubts, and we will take a hands-on approach to the development of the different proposals. About CYSSDE, what is CYSSDE all about? Well, CYSSDE is a project supported under the Digital Europe program. The project started to be ideated in the making as of the mid of 2023. We applied to an open call, to a call from the Digital Europe program, and the project officially kicked off on June 2024. It is lasting. It will last 4 years, so that is up until June 2028. And within the project, we are tackling different European cybersecurity challenges, then being enhancing the preparedness, the support, and developing the capacities, the capabilities of European critical infrastructure, essential entities, important entities. That is why we are deploying financial support to third parties in order for companies such as ETIAC to apply and for them to deliver pen tests among these different essential entities. Here, we're building European capabilities, but we are also enhancing the capacity in terms of skilled professionals. We're also looking for variety in the quality and results of the assessments. We will take a look at what the Open Call 2 applications focused on, but also entities like ETHIAC under the CYSSDE Open Call, in this case Open Call 2, they are supporting contributions in a global scheme, such as when they are discovering vulnerabilities, they are being numbered under CVE MEDTEST program. We are supporting and growing the European cybersecurity industry with this type of funding opportunities, but also overall, we will take a look at how CYSSDE, besides the funding, supports the competitiveness of the European industry. As mentioned here, this is a collaboration of 7 different entities led by LSEC, Leaders in Security. LSEC is a Belgian non-for-profit association born in 2002 as a spin-off of KU Leuven University. In our case, over these past years, we have deployed several different European projects under the Digital Europe program. Besides CYSSDE, other examples are KISMI in order to enhance the cybersecurity maturity of European SMEs, CRACY in order to make CRA compliance easier, or Incidentron in order to streamline cybersecurity incident reporting. From LSEC, we like to act as a cybersecurity catalyst in order to bring closer, on the one hand, the policies and the priorities coming from Commission or President at EU level, and to the other, the industry bridging this gap between the two of them. Within CYSSDE, we have another partner that is Funding Box. Funding Box is the one that is managing the financial support to third parties. They are also the European entity that has deployed the most or the greatest amount in terms of funding of financial support to third parties across different programs, so they have experience in this. We have 2 national authorities represented by INCIBE, the Spanish National Cybersecurity Institute, and also DNSC from Romania. And we have technical partners such as CyberEngis, Torion, and CU, providing different capabilities when it comes to developing scenarios, methodologies, platforms for risk and surface management, and not only limited to the consortium, we have also been coordinating efforts with the network of national coordination centers. In this case, NCC Portugal, Slovenia, and Romania were part of CYSSDE's first open call. They have been delivering and organizing a series of events, webinars, and dedicated sessions in order for the communities to get to know the open call. And in this specific case that we will see, ETHIAC with Complear, both of them part of the MEDTEST project. We need to acknowledge the fact that NCC Portugal did a remarkable job when it came to promoting the open call and bringing the opportunity closer to their entities. The numbers of CYSSDE, well, we are trying to conduct 230 penetration pen testing through these different open call projects. Just with the open call that is currently being running, Open Call 2, not the one that is open for opportunities, rather the one where projects like MEDTEST, they are developing their different projects. Already there, the KPI that we have, we will most likely surpass these 230 penetration testings. We have 4 million euros as a funding envelope to deploy, to manage. But not only this, we have different resources for enhancing pen testing methods or for coordination at national and European level, capacity building type of initiatives that we would like to share with you and we would like you to be aware of because you could benefit of them. We will later on dig a little bit deeper into the CYSSDE pen testing open call. As mentioned, up to 200,000 euros on a 50% co-funding basis, open up until the 28th of April 2026. From Open Call 2, the 10 winners, you can find them under our website on CYSSDE Activities Open Call 2. There you will find information on projects like MEDTEST, the one that here today we are explaining. We have Vitor in order to share. We want you, cybersecurity experts, to be engaged with the CYSSDE open calls and CYSSDE project as a whole. We will see later on that we have a community of experts, assessment experts, that we've been building. We want you there. Not only that, but we are looking for you and your companies to apply to these different types of opportunity. In the case of Open Call 2, we have experts coming from Slovenia, such as the case of Anchor Project 3FS. We just had a webinar before with NCC Slovenia, where Anchor Project had a 15-minute slot in order to share their experiences. We have projects in Germany with ASBIN and SearchIQ, focusing on pen testing and conducting vulnerability assessments in infrastructure for intelligent charging, vehicle charging. Also project with entities in Spain, such as Tarlogic. In this case, the project is called Vesta, and already they have deployed more than 50 pen tests in the initial stages of the project. So we already have a good, as we will see with the case of MEDTEST, the projects that originally are funded under Open Call 2, they are starting to deploy these different pen tests and are getting some velocity. The different resources that we are running as webinars. We had one a couple of weeks ago on the pen testers playbook. We will have additional webinars during these upcoming weeks. For example, this morning too, we had a webinar on the CYSSDE scenarios. All of the different webinars, they appear, they are recorded, and for you to be able to go through them again under the CYSSDE website. So more than invited to go through there. Not only that, but we also have pen testing scenarios, the CYSSDE website. These scenarios, you might be able to use them as a methodology baseline for your Open Call 3 application. And in any case, the resources are there for you to download. There are different instructions on how to set up and run the scenario, and we are looking for your active feedback on them, on what have been your different results. And if you believe there are any type of improvements when it comes to these different scenarios, please let us know. We will adapt accordingly. Again, we also have a CYSSDE pen testing tools catalog. Had a webinar a couple of weeks ago on this. So you are, indeed, again, more than welcome to check that and see what are the different tooling based off the categories, let's say for cloud, for network attack, for password crackers that we have under CYSSDE being had aggregated under CYSSDE. So, as for Open Call 3, before giving the floor to Vitor, the impact is on critical infrastructure. As for NIS2 entities, it would depend, of course, on the transposition of NIS2 in your respective country. But in any case, this is an example from Belgium. In CYSSDE, we are also looking for you to deploy the pen tests among SMEs. And here we can see that medium companies in some of the NIS2 verticals, they are considered as important or essential. So not only limited to greater, bigger operators, but also it will be taken into account if you can also cover SMEs with your CYSSDE pen testing. We are also targeting PDE manufacturers. As we have mentioned, we have another project running called Crazy that is looking to demystify CRA, make CRA compliance easier, especially for SMEs. In the case of CYSSDE Open Call 3, if you are a PDE manufacturer, you might be able to get some funding in order to implement some pen testings or vulnerability assessments in your PDEs, in the PDEs that you might be manufacturing, products with digital elements, but also critical products, not only consumer-based, but also business-oriented type of products that might have vulnerabilities. So you are more than welcome to also deploy or develop your CYSSDE Open Call project based off, in this case, Cyber Resilience Act compliance and deploying pen tests on this type of products that are under the scope of CRA. As for the benefits for participants, well, besides the funding, it is important to note that you might be able to team up with the CYSSDE consortium, also with other partners, such as in this case, ETHIAC, that are also part or will also be part of the projects developing. You will get 50% of co-funding, but also you will get a CYSSDE mentor that will guide you all across the process. For sure, you will learn more out of your CYSSDE mentor, but the other way around applies. Your CYSSDE mentor will be able to pick up some of your knowledge, some of your insight, and share it with the consortium. So without further ado, I will now stop sharing my screen and leave the floor to Vitor. Vitor, welcome here today. Please, the floor is yours. I'm handing it over to you.
Hi, Hector. Thank you very much for the invitation. So I will start my presentation. So I am Vitor Pinho. I'm the Chief Customer Security Officer at ETHIAC, and I'm here to talk about the MEDTEST project that ETHIAC is addressing, is taking on with Complear. So for us, we are looking to this project mainly focusing on healthcare institutions, organizations, and we are seeing cybersecurity here as one of the pillars of the MDR compliance needs. So beyond documentation and that kind of checklist-based compliance stuff, we are here to help organizations to have effective measures of securing their devices and their software. So one of them is secure by design validation, helping them through requirements, security requirements, and mapping them and testing them with penetration tests, so organizations can have secure by design software. Also, concerning the devices and their infrastructure with continuous vulnerability management, so they can have permanent testing, continuous testing that maps their infrastructure, that tests for new vulnerabilities in a continuous way. And concerning the risk assessment, we are doing this based on the criticality of the assets that we find with the evidence that we collect from our continuous testing and our pen testing, and also validating that the flows between the medical devices are being done in a secure way and in an effective way that complies, namely with the FHIR standard. So the main barriers that we have been noticing from the healthcare organizations concerning pen testing are those. First one is budget competition. So when they have to decide between spending money on security or on clinical research, so it's one of the topics. There is also a misperception about the negative impacts of pen testing. So some kind of fear of disruption, although the tests are controlled, but this perception still exists. Also, some organizations tend to believe that their attack surface is hidden in a certain way, and so they believe in a kind of security by obscurity, and it's being proved with the continuous attacks that the healthcare industry is being targeted with, that it's not a good way to address this subject. There are also some skill gaps in healthcare IT teams that sometimes overlook security concerns and security by design principles. So we can also help organizations in this topic with pen testing. Also, a misunderstanding, some confusion between compliance and security. They are not necessarily the same. And passing a ISO 27001 audit, it's not the same as being secure. So it's a step, but it's not the end of the journey. And also for operational reasons, sometimes these activities like pen testing are being postponed because teams are sometimes overwhelmed and they can't tackle this extra job. So from our point of view, what matters in proactive security, and that's one of the vectors that we try to help organizations with, it's about speed. So the mean time to detect and the mean time to remediate are core metrics that organizations should observe. Also, the visibility and the coverage, they need to know all their exposed attack surface, and they must do it continuously. So, because sometimes an unobserved asset may be the entry point of an attack, and that can disrupt all their activity and business. So the accuracy, why accuracy is important? Because the majority of the tools provides lots of false positives, and it just creates noise. So if you don't have an accurate tool, you will be flooded with false positives that will your security teams and till a point that it stops being effective, and you have a sense of paralysis that can harm your security posture. And connected to this, the impact and the prioritization. So we care for providing evidence of the impact that the vulnerabilities can have, and we also propose a prioritization level, so you can adjust this concerning your risk and your risk tolerance. So how do we do that? ETIAC is here as a technical partner providing agentic AI pen testing, and we do it for continuous exposure validation. Our mission here is to continuously pen test the organization's attack surfaces using agentic AI and hackers, so we can effectively provide the evidence of vulnerabilities and vulnerabilities that are actually exploitable. CompleR here also is an expert in digital health, and they also in medical software and AI as medical devices. They are building digital tools for helping regulatory compliance, and those are some of the major projects that CompleR is connected with. So their main goal is to have an agentic compliance management system tailored for the interconnected world of digital health. So the healthcare providers can have a tool here that helps them with compliance purposes. So the MEDTEST project, how we are combining our forces. ETIAC is partnering with Complear and with the support of KIST to promote elite cybersecurity standards in healthcare. So as the objectives of the project are, we are providing 20 manual penetration tests and covering 3,000 digital assets under continuous automated testing. And our goals here are identifying vulnerabilities in hospital systems or IoT devices to ensure uninterrupted patient care and data protection. Embedding also security protocols and fostering a cybersecurity culture in digital health startups, addressing security gaps in medical device manufacturing to make products resilient to cyber attacks and enhance patient safety, developing and disseminating a comprehensive best practices manual for the healthcare industry, and identify CVEs specific to the healthcare sector in public medical devices databases. So this is a summary of our ongoing activities, and these numbers are continuously evolving. Till the moment, we have 24 entities already engaged with us between health tech startups, SMEs, and public and private hospitals. Today 8 entities onboarding already, and more than 179 assets, and with those type of assets, network, web applications, APIs, mobile apps, and also cloud environments. And till the moment, we have discovered more than 300 vulnerabilities of 77 different types. So concerning the coverage, we have also more than 10,000 users covered by all types of tests. Either these users are internal personnel, like employees or contractors, or external users, the people who uses the web apps or the software that these companies are providing. So this is a small summary of our findings across all the entities, and just a quick snapshot of the relevance of and the criticality of the findings that we have till the moment, and how we do that and how we work. So we do it through manual penetration testing with security engineers that simulate real attackers. They test for logical flaws, they chain exploits, they target high-value targets. So this is one of the way we are doing this. Also, the other component is the continuous automated testing. We have AI agents that are continuously 24/7 scanning these organizations' attack surface, and they test their exposed APIs, their software, their exposed software, web apps, and and also the exposed infrastructure. From the component of the compliance, Complear takes care of the CWE classification, and they are building and incorporating this in a sector-specific healthcare vulnerability taxonomy. And also, each of our tests ends with structured reporting and an advisory. So all the findings are risk prioritized, and our reports are aligned with NIS2, with PCI DSCS and so on. And they are here also aligned with those standards like ISO 27001 and ISO 62443. So concerning the technical part of ETIAC, we have our platform, and these are the three main core mottos that we go with, like just see, test, and act. So in a way that companies can know what is their exposure, they should test their exposure, and they should act on the results of the testing. So this is our agent that runs continuously, and our agent has some capabilities that we are continuously developing. So our AI pen tester can has pattern recognition to understand app behavior. He can discover unknown vulnerabilities beyond what is already documented in CVE databases. He's very creative in payload construction and combining techniques. Also, he tries for pivoting attacks and several different approaches for the same purposes. All our findings are validated. We have a proprietary technology to verify that all our findings are true positives. So that's one of the things that helps us to have a very low false positive rate. And also, of course, we do this with strong guardrails to stop and to prevent any harmful behavior from our agents. So those are the main features of our offer, and they are both contemplated in the KISS context in the MEDTEST project. So how does a pen test work? After a previous scope call where we meet with our customers and address with them their goals, what they want to test, what are the timelines, what are their main concerns. These are the phases of a pen test. So the reconnaissance phase, then we do scanning phase with port and service fingerprinting. We do vulnerability identification. Also, after we try to pivot and to level through exploitation the findings that we found previously, and going to privilege escalation. Also concerning here lateral movement testing and trying to exploit other validations according to the network of our customers. And then after the tests are completed, we have our reporting. Our reporting are produced taking into account the evidence of the findings that we collected. Also, we propose mitigations and to address the findings and to give the technical teams a solid ground so they can solve the vulnerabilities. Concerning our automated testing, we have a process that mimics the on-demand pen testing. So we also do the same phases, but in a completely autonomous way. So here, with automated testing, we have an accuracy of more than 99.5%, and also we can address more than 200 CWEs, and being 30 times faster than a manual pen test. So, and this metric here about port trigger labs, it's concerning our agent that we've been comparing with port trigger labs. So we can have here a measure of the efficiency of our agent. So concerning the CWE classification that Complear takes care, so this is related to regulatory obligations, and this classification addresses either the software as a medical device, hardware and the IoT devices, and the infrastructure and network. So everything is mapped and already have 77 vulnerability types mapped across MEDTEST in CWEs related with our organizations here in the project. So also as Ulrich was saying in the beginning, one of our goals is to disseminate knowledge. So for that, we already did a webinar, and we partnered with one of our with one of the organizations that is in the MEDTEST project, that it's a private hospital group, Lucia da Saúde. And also we are preparing for November this year and February next year to more activities related to related to this project. So how MEDTEST leverage KIST funding to advance security tests. The way we are doing this is through the services that we are providing. We are offering 20 manual penetration tests and monitoring 3,000 digital assets with continuous automated testing. We include here risk assessment and risk monitoring in a continuous way. So every organization that enters the platform that we provide have an instant view of their risk posture. Also, vulnerability identification, it's running continuously 24/7. So we are identifying and prioritizing vulnerabilities in their infrastructure, in their devices, and we do that in a very efficient way to not to overload the system. So we have a change detection mechanism that makes things easier and smoother to the organization. Also, the advanced testing, the pen testing services that we provide, we do that with humans and with agents, and also looking for sector-specific vulnerabilities with our internal research team. So we are also taking care of these organizations, tailoring our own research so they can benefit in a faster way from our detection capabilities. Also, we are helping organizations in compliance purposes. So they are addressing security gaps in medical devices, and they are being provided with structured reports that are aligned with NIS2, MDR, and ISO standards. And just like I said just before, we are also helping and disseminating best practices with our customers and with community. And so we keep in a way of working in a collaborative way to reinforce our resilience as a whole. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for being here. And I would like to thank Daniela from Complear, our partner that helped me with this, and is a very close person that is helping moving forward with this project. And also to thank Ulrich and Richard from LSEC that are our mentors, and they are a very motivating mentors, so we can keep on doing this.
Thank you, Vitor. I would say a great rundown on what you have been doing under MEDTEST, and yeah, let's keep in mind that there are almost 1 year to go for the project. So I mean, for sure, further results will even be more encouraging, and you will surely have the opportunity to share them in different formats as those that you discussed now. I will share my screen again and spend around 10 minutes, I must say, on Open Call 2 for those attendees. So if you're gonna be like ETHIAC, and in this case, on the one hand, get the funding in order to deploy your project, but also get the mentoring from the CYSSDE's project partners. In this case, regarding the open call that we currently have running, again, up to 200,000 euros of funding on a 50% co-funding basis. That means that you can have a 400,000 euro total cost project. We will be funding up to 200,000 euros out of it. In this case, as we are having additional budget, up to 12 projects will be selected. So keep that in mind. The target, as we have mentioned, are essential entities, important entities, SMEs. You will need to be deploying pen testing and vulnerability assessments, and the minimum requirement is that you deploy at least 10 of them. Who can apply? Well, this is something to take into account. We are talking here about SMEs, mid caps, large caps, public, private. In that sense, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you must be entities coming from one of the 27 EU countries or European Economic Area, that is Norway, Iceland, or Liechtenstein. Not only you will need to be registered in the EU, your ownership and control structure needs to be EU-based, and this is something important. If you are an EU entity and one of your owners comes from a third country, you will not be eligible. So this is something to take into account, that you will need to be European, also regarding ownership control, and this is a core requirement of the Digital Europe program in its cybersecurity specific objective. The proposals, they need to be written in English. You need to have a healthy enough financial posture, that is not to be under liquidation, not to be in enterprise difficulty. Also, if you have any other EU project running, ensure that no double funding happens, that the work that you conduct for CYSSDE is just funded with CYSSDE and you are not justifying it under two different projects, and that the work that you carry out is original, not copied or not full AI originated mambo jumbo. As some takeaways for you to have regarding this open call, again, ensure that you are able to provide the 50% of co-funding. This is regarding total costs. So we are covering 50% of your total costs. Verify again your European ownership. Prepare for these 10 external assessments. In the webinar that we will have on the 8th of April, we will take a closer look at the different scoring criteria. In this case, there are 3 different criteria, and impact that used to have a higher criteria will have the same criteria as will have the same weight as the other 2. So keep that in mind. We also have had a webinar running on the 10th of March that has been recorded. We also invite you to go there. It would be a good step to go there, check the open call requirements, and then if you have doubts, go to the webinar that we have on the 10th of April and ask them there. Also, we have with our partner Funding Box frequently asked questions website under the platform. So if you have any type of questions, you can see whether they have already been answering there. And if not, we have a help desk. The help desk is helpdesk@CYSSDE.eu. In this case, we answer questions that arrive in there from a consortium point of view. So again, feel free to post them, and also check the CYSSDE website under CYSSDE.eu Open Call 3. You will have all information regarding the proposal. The proposal is handled via the OpenPass platform, which is a Funding Box platform. The different scoring criteria and sections are capped when it comes to the maximum words that you need to provide in the different fields. So we have aimed for the proposal to be as light as possible. It is around 4,000 to 5,000 words. The budget that you will need to provide, you will provide it in the web platform, and is not overly complex. So in this sense, again, aim to have 10 pen testing at least, aim to partner up with different entities or to have letters of support, letters of intent, backing up the claims that you are providing when it comes to the implementation, the deployment of these different pen tests. And feel free, again, to be in touch to check the different CYSSDE materials on the open call and participate. As for the next steps, you can dive into some of the CYSSDE materials, the webinars, the catalog, also sign up for the CYSSDE activities, as we have mentioned, join the CYSSDE community of experts, check Open Call 3, and talk to different prospects, customers, partners, suppliers, be inspired by stories such as the one that we have seen here today on ETHIAC and MEDTEST. That could be you in some months' time. And also publish vulnerability, expand the community. Under assessmentexperts.eu, we are building a community of experts, of pen testing experts, of cybersecurity experts. Again, check that out. It's free to join there. Join and share. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to get us, to forward them to us at info@cyssde.eu. Check our website. And now we will have some time for questions in case that you have any of them. This session will be recorded. It will be published under the CYSSDE website, so you will also be able to check that out later on. Okay, I don't know whether any question did arrive. Today has been a very heavy CYSSDE day. We have had 3 webinars, which is great. Okay, I see no questions, nor in the Q&A, neither in the chat. So if that is the case, I would like to thank the attendees for coming, also for coming to some of the other CYSSDE webinars that they have been present today. Especially thanks to Vitor, to ETHIAC, also colleagues from Complear and under MEDTEST to help make this happen. They also had the opportunity to share their experience under an NCC Portugal organized open call. So also hats off to our colleagues there. And I would say that keep stay posted for the upcoming webinars that we will have. Important again to note that on the 8th of April, we will be running a webinar with Funding Box, just focusing on CYSSDE's Open Call 3. We also have another opportunity there present about the Citadel Open Call, a different open call that might be of your interest if you are looking for funding in the digital realm. And then again, thank you for coming. I've seen one thinking. Okay, thank you, Phil. If again any question arises, feel free to post them later on. Let's stay in touch. Don't go at it alone. Let's build a CYSSDE pen testing community. So thank you all for coming. Thank you again, Vitor. That is it. Wishing all a good afternoon.